Hello, Younger Old here, and welcome to my channel. Now today I want to talk about our bike's power and how much do we really need for riding on today's roads. Stay tuned and watch the intro. Now, I passed my bike test when I was 41, so yes, it was a bit of a midlife crisis thing. And it might make me a little bit of a hypocrite, but back then, to me, bigger was better. I purchased a Kawasaki ZX-10 1989 model, and when it was made, it was the most powerful bike until they replaced it with the ZZR 1100, which was still the fastest for a few years. I've had two Honda Blackbirds, two ZZR 1400s and a GTR 1400. The smallest bike I've ever owned since passing my test was a Speed Triple 955. So I've always been a fan of the larger, more powerful bikes. Now, did I have such powerful bikes because I ride everywhere at ballistic speeds? Well, no, far from it. Did I have them because I was a poser? No. Oh well, okay, maybe a little bit. I had them because I'm 6'2" and of larger build, or shall we just say overweight, and I find these big bikes more comfy to ride. Both my wives have rode pillion, and we used to use the bikes for touring holidays, fully loaded panniers, so these bikes were the right tool for the job. So I decreased power from the ZZR 14 to the GTR 14, and now I've decreased again to the Versys 1000 SE. And have I noticed the decrease? Well, not really on today's roads. Yes, on a track you may well notice the difference, and let's face it, world championships can be won by a fraction of a second. But in reality, can our brains calculate the difference between a 0 to 60 of 2.6 seconds or 3 seconds? I have a mate who never has had anything bigger than a 600cc. Yes, he is of a light build and he only tours solo, but he never gets left behind. He keeps up with all the rest of us on the road. It was mentioned to me that his engine will be at higher revs than ours, and doing that all day could cause him to have greater engine wear. But by how much? I'm not qualified to work that one out. I've looked at some of the modern classics and I've been put off by the stats as they seem low on power. But everyone I've spoken to who owns them never complain about the power they have. So have I been a victim of mine is bigger than yours syndrome? When instructing, I often use the 600, 650 Kawasaki's we have, and to be fair, they have some get up and go, as well as the Trident 660s we have. But here again, the frame is just too small for me, and no way would I feel comfortable touring on them, although plenty do. I have never owned an out-and-out sports bike, as they all tend to be a bit small in stature for me. I've rode quite a few over the years. My stepson had a CBR 600F, and that performed very well, and it were plenty quick enough. The market for bikes has changed quite a lot. The ZZR 1100 owned the crown as the fastest bike for a few years, and then came the Blackbird, and that was the top dog. The Hayabusa soon came out and stole the crown, and then Kawasaki bought out the ZZR 1400. Honda sort of thought, in my opinion, that we're not playing this game anymore, and to be honest, I don't think any of the big players seem interested in who owns the most powerful crown now. I just don't think they're that bothered. As I mentioned in a recent video, the average age for a UK biker is 54, and most of that age group are also not interested in the power game. We want better comfort, safety. Granted, a youngster may be tempted by sheer power, but for those who want them may not be able to insure them, let alone be able to afford to buy one. With today's roads being so overcrowded and a network of camera systems, how fast can we safely ride nowadays without gaining a few points on our licence and paying out fines? Yes, it was nice owning one of the top bikes, but now I'm not so bothered about it. The chances are I might never notice the reduced power on my Versys, and I'm sure it would go faster than I tend to ride. If my wife decided touring was no longer for her, I would be touring solo, so I would more than likely get a smaller bike. But now, comfort is the quality I look for both of us, and something I can move around without too much fuss. My GTR 1400 was a great touring bike. The only problem was the weight of it. But I wonder if Kawasaki had put a 1000cc engine in instead of the 1400. Now how much power would have been lost, and how much lighter the bike would have been? Engine size does not automatically mean more power. Now my Harley had a 1450cc engine, but it didn't produce that much power. Even with the stage 1 Dynajet and pipes, it was still about 68 brake horsepower. But the big twin felt like it was going to pull your arms out of the sockets if you gave a handful of throttle away from the lights. Some of the latest sports bikes can produce insane power, if you can find any way to use it, that is. But also look at some of the new bikes and wonder why a lot of the main manufacturers are producing updated versions of past classics. So it's all down to what you want to do with your bike and what sort of riding floats your boat. I've seen where riders tour on any size of bike, even a monkey bike, but I can't see the wife and I doing touring on one of them. So look at what the main use is that you want to do with the bike, or single use if you're going to own a few of them. Decide what power is going to be best for you. Choose the looks that you prefer, and you'll probably have a couple to choose from. But always do your research first. Make sure the bike will fit your needs. And I mean your needs, and not what others or the current trends say you need. So if you've enjoyed the content, please do the ticks to like and subscribe. And as always, take care, ride safe, and bye for now.